He did say that he was offered $15 million and it came down to money. Is he lying when he says that?
Who gives a shit? John knows what happened. Everybody's talking about how I'm blowing John Jones all the time. Now this falls out. What, I fucking hate John Jones and I'm trying to destroy John Jones now or whatever? John Jones knows exactly what happened. We have to give this guy 3 fights a year if he really wants to fight. Legally, we have to give him 3 fights a year if John Jones is chomping at the bit to fight. And if we don't, we have to pay him.
Islam Makhachev is fighting in August. Is that true? And do you have an opponent for Islam yet?
Ali was out there talking, saying July. That's August that we're looking at.
Is Conor McGregor fighting in July?
Possibly.
Do we have potential?
Nothing's done. Nothing's even remotely close to being done.
But is that something you would look forward to doing?
Yes.
Are you more optimistic than before that Conor is going to fight? Because obviously it's been a couple of years.
I am. I was pretty optimistic at the end of last year. End of last year, going into this year, I'm still confident. It's August that we're looking at.
Is Conor McGregor fighting in July?
Possibly.
Do we have potential?
Nothing's done.
Okay.
Nothing's even remotely close to being done.
Okay. But is that something you would look forward to doing?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And Dana, just to piggyback off the Conor thing, are you more optimistic than before that Conor is going to fight? Because obviously it's been a couple of years.
I am. I am. I was pretty optimistic at the end of last year. So.
Looking at this script, I can see 14 video sections that need to be rewritten as 14 paragraphs. Here's the rewritten version.
Just one quick one for me. Hate to bring him up, John Jones. I know he was never in contention to fight on that White House card. But he did say that he was offered $15 million and it came down to money. Is he lying when he says that?
Who gives a shit?
So did the negotiation just fall out over money, or was he not?
I've already talked about this a million times, and John knows what happened.
Okay.
John knows what happened. I don't know. So, first of all, leading
MMA enthusiasts, here's the breaking development that has the entire combat sports community buzzing with excitement. Dana White has delivered a significant announcement regarding Conor McGregor's potential comeback, and while nothing is officially signed, the confidence level around a July bout has reached unprecedented heights since last year's discussions concluded. White's unwavering optimism isn't mere promotional theater, it signals legitimate progress in behind-the-scenes negotiations that could finally bring the Irish superstar back to competition. Meanwhile, tensions have escalated dramatically between UFC leadership and John Jones over financial disputes and public commentary, revealing the complex power struggles that define modern fight promotion. The summer could witness the most anticipated return in recent memory, while contractual battles continue reshaping the landscape.
And then for Joe Piper, what does it do for him having a legend like Israel on his resume, and where do you think he can go from here?
It's huge, and more importantly, you know, the Joe Piper story, and now the guy's ranked in the top 5 in the UFC, which is very, very tough to do.
Did you know he was considering suicide a couple of weeks ago?
I did not know that.
That's what he said in the cage.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's okay.
Yeah.
Going to the co-main event, probably the nastiest finish we have actually seen in a women's
He said he was considering suicide a couple of weeks ago.
That's what he said, right?
That's Dana at his most candid, completely dismissing questions about John Jones' alleged $15 million offer with characteristic bluntness. His "who gives a shit" response exposes deep-seated frustration with the ongoing negotiation circus and suggests Jones understands the real situation better than he publicly admits. White's exhaustion with the constant media back and forth is palpable, hinting at layers of complexity beyond simple monetary disagreements. This exchange perfectly captures the strained relationship between one of MMA's greatest champions and promotional leadership, a dynamic that keeps observers constantly speculating about Jones's true career trajectory and motivations.
Piggybacking off the Grasso win, what is going on with the flyweight title with Valentina Shevchenko? Is there any plans to get her back in there pretty soon and defend her title?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that is in the works. And then same thing with strawweight. We haven't heard much of what's going on.
I mean, everything's always in the works.
For sure. No, I'm just saying, like, 'cause a lot of people have been asking with the women's fights. Obviously, Kayla's still recovering, so I think some people wanted to see some movement at 125 and at 115, right? So.
Joe Piper's triumph transcends athletic achievement and enters the realm of genuine human inspiration. Dana White's confirmation that Piper considered ending his life just weeks before his career-defining victory adds profound context to an already remarkable performance. This narrative represents far more than sporting success. It exemplifies the transformative power of purpose and the resilience of the human spirit when facing seemingly insurmountable darkness. The story illuminates the hidden psychological warfare fighters endure daily, battles invisible to casual observers. Pyfer's victory becomes a beacon of hope for anyone struggling with despair, proving that even in our bleakest moments, redemption and comeback remain possible.
The prelims, someone that I know came in on short notice. He told us that a lot of people in his debut did not want to fight Bobby Green. He steps in, he loses that fight, but then he gets this opportunity and knocks out Chase Hooper. And obviously the fans were on Hooper's side here. What did you make of his performance? Someone that's been fighting for a while, gets the opportunity, takes advantage.
Yeah, I mean, anytime, that's what this is all about. That's what this game is about. This game is about opportunities and who takes them, who delivers, no different than we were just saying about Piper. I mean, everybody's taking an opportunity and you're all trying to have the best possible performance you can have. I mean,
White directly addresses mounting frustration over the stagnant women's flyweight and strawweight divisions, acknowledging that organizational desires for movement match fan expectations perfectly. Both Valentina Shevchenko and the strawweight champion are currently in recovery phases, creating natural division bottlenecks that test everyone's patience. His "if you think other people want to see some movement, imagine what we want to see" statement perfectly encapsulates the UFC's need for active champions and compelling matchups. The delicate balance between respecting fighter recovery and maintaining competitive momentum creates ongoing challenges, but White confirms behind-the-scenes efforts to arrange optimal fights when timing aligns properly for their elite athletes.
And I heard that people were talking about that. I don't have any.
Yeah, it was a weird finish at the end, because it looked like Yanez had maybe finished him, and then it ends up being a draw there. So yeah, might want to check that one out. And then, did you see the scorecard for the Tyrell Fortune and Tybura fight? I don't think we've ever seen that in the UFC where the wrong scorecard was read out, and so they had to bring the fighters back.
It's happened before.
Yeah,
it is
not in a while though, right?
Yeah, Buffer probably hung himself somewhere back here tonight. But yeah, Buffer is an absolute pro and.
Lance Gibson embodies the quintessential UFC success story of seizing opportunities when they materialize. White emphasizes that this sport ultimately rewards those who deliver under pressure when stakes are highest and lights burn brightest. Gibson's willingness to accept short-notice fights against dangerous opponents like Bobby Green, followed by his spectacular knockout of Chase Hooper, perfectly demonstrates the fighter mentality required for success. His journey reminds everyone that dedication, preparation, and courage can transform careers even for athletes grinding without mainstream recognition. The entire card showcased fighters from Gibson to Casey O'Neill, capitalizing on their moments, highlighting the incredible roster depth and relentless performance pressure these athletes face consistently.
Blowing John Jones all the time. Now this falls out, I fucking hate John Jones and I'm trying to destroy John Jones now or whatever. John Jones knows exactly what happened. And this happens every week at the UFC. There's all kinds of negotiations going on. Do you think John Jones is clamoring to fight? Like John Jones is like, we have to give this guy 3 fights a year if he really wants to fight. Legally, we have to give him 3 fights a year if John Jones is chomping at the bit to fight.
Scoring controversies and result announcement errors continue plaguing UFC events and generating heated debate among passionate fans. White acknowledges the frustration surrounding the Yain Simone draw situation and the shocking mistake in reading the Fortuna Tibau scorecard results, which clearly disrupted the evening's flow. While defending Buffer as a seasoned professional with decades of experience, these incidents expose the human element and intense pressure inherent in live sports broadcasting. Such errors inevitably spark fan outrage and scrutiny over judging standards and presentation quality, emphasizing the critical need for precision in high-stakes competitions where fighter careers hang in the balance.
I have a question about Michael Chies's retirement fight. He was on his 4th win streak. I guess it's now ended because he's retired. Can you talk about his legacy and where you see Michael throughout his career and everything?
Yeah, he's had a great career. I mean, he's had a great career. He's achieved some, winning the Ultimate Fighter and then coming into the UFC and actually staying here for as long as he did and continuing to fight. And obviously he's talented enough that he's on the broadcast team too. So when you look at where he came from, some of the things that happened to him, like his dad dying during the show, he's accomplished a lot, and he got into the toughest fight organization.
White's exasperation with John Jones's public narrative and media manipulation becomes crystal clear during this heated exchange. He firmly rejects suggestions that he either coddles Jones with special treatment or actively sabotages his career opportunities. Dana insists Jones knows exactly what transpired during negotiations, implying significant public posturing from the champion's camp. The crucial revelation involves UFC contractual obligations to offer 3 annual fights to demanding fighters, subtly questioning Jones's actual desire for frequent activity. This adds another fascinating dimension to their ongoing saga, suggesting the delays might not originate entirely from promotional resistance as commonly assumed.
Yep.
You guys recently announced the Manel Kape versus Kyoji Horiguchi rematch in the Apex. Big first fight they had over in Japan, Ryzen. Have there been any discussions, of course, of going back to Japan when you have these characters like that? And I mean, was that fight specifically when you guys thought about taking there? I know Saitama Super Arena is not available at the moment, which could play a part.
Yeah, we would love to go back and do a fight in Japan, and we do talk about it often. We just haven't found the right time or fight or whatever it might be. But yes, we want to go to Japan.
Michael Chiesa's retirement closes the chapter on an exemplary career marked by consistency and professionalism throughout his UFC tenure. White's heartfelt tribute acknowledges not only Chiesa's Ultimate Fighter victory and octagon longevity, but also his personal resilience through adversity, including losing his father during challenging career periods. His seamless transition to broadcast duties demonstrates continued value to the organization beyond active competition. Chiesa's evolution from reality show hopeful to respected veteran both inside the cage and behind the microphone solidifies his legacy as a cherished figure who devoted everything to advancing the sport.
Of course, and speaking of other fights made, I got to get your thoughts on the entire MVP MMA card. Have you seen that and what you think?
The entire what?
MVP MMA card, the Rousey Carano.
Full
card.
No, I haven't seen the full card. I know that Diaz is on it and Ronda's on it and Francis is on it. Beyond that,
It's like 13 fights. Good.
Japan's potential return to the UFC calendar generates constant internal discussion and excitement among hardcore international fans. White confirms ongoing conversations about revisiting this historically significant market, acknowledging Japan's rich combat sports heritage and incredibly knowledgeable audience. However, his admission about timing and matchmaking challenges suggests logistical complexities preventing immediate implementation. International events require extensive coordination and strategic planning, but the commitment to future Japanese events signals positive momentum for global expansion and satisfying eager fans who remember the promotion's memorable previous visits to this crucial market.
What do you got, brother?
So I've seen a lot of fans and viewers online commenting or discussing what they perceive as a lot of AI-generated content in the broadcast that maybe wasn't in previous iterations of the UFC. Is this something that's coming with the Paramount deal or just a new direction for the UFC, or do you have any insight on that?
What does that mean?
AI stuff, commercials, part of the promotional content, just AI in the UFC in general, I've seen fans complaining about.
Oh, yeah? What are they complaining about?
I guess I've seen people saying that the UFC should be paying artists instead of using generative AI, stuff like that.
Give me a fucking break. AI is coming, and if we're using AI, who gives a shit?
White's dismissive response to MVP MMA's event featuring Nick Diaz and Ronda Rousey reflects his calculated approach to competitor acknowledgement. His casual "I haven't seen the whole card" deflection demonstrates deliberate indifference to rival promotions, particularly those featuring former UFC talent who departed the organization. This strategic messaging reinforces UFC's position as the industry's undisputed leader while avoiding legitimizing competitors through attention or analysis. By maintaining laser focus on his own product development, White subtly downplays external events while asserting organizational dominance and refusing to provide promotional oxygen to competing ventures.
Just a couple of minutes ago, Arman Sarukian won another grappling match. I don't know if you know. At last UFC BJJ event, I asked Claudia about Arman, and she said that she's interested to make Arman versus Miki Musumeci match. So, will you allow Arman to perform in UFC BJJ?
Can he perform in UFC BJJ? Arman?
Arman, yeah.
Sarukian?
Yep.
I guess. I don't know. Is that what he wants to do?
Is that what Claudia wants? And
Claudia wants him to.
Yeah, and Arman he had like 7 grappling matches in the last 7 months.
Well,
White's blunt dismissal of fan complaints regarding AI-generated broadcast content reveals his pragmatic, business-first philosophy toward technological adoption. His "give me a fucking break, AI is coming" response perfectly encapsulates his view on inevitable technological progress and efficiency improvements. While fans advocate for supporting human artists and creators, Dana clearly prioritizes production enhancement and cost-saving innovations over external criticism. This unapologetic stance demonstrates the UFC's willingness to integrate beneficial technology regardless of fan base resistance, reflecting his leadership's commitment to staying ahead of industry trends and maintaining competitive advantages.
Probably the card of the year so far, an amazing event. We'll go to the first, the main event. What your thoughts were on Israel's performance and Joe Pyfer's win? What do you think of the main event?
yeah, I mean that's what we were talking about in the back when you started looking at all the performances tonight for Pyfer to come in at number 14, and beat Israel Adesanya, one of the best middleweights ever, and the number 4 ranked guy. It's pretty impressive, and to finish him.
There's going to be a lot of talk about like Izzy and where he is in the sport and this stuff, but what did you think of his performance before he ended up getting taken?
The discussion surrounding Arman Tsarukyan's grappling ambitions provides fascinating insight into evolving fighter development approaches. White acknowledges Arman's interest in additional competitive outlets beyond MMA, while noting Claudia Gadeja's potential involvement with UFC BJJ initiatives. This surprisingly flexible stance suggests organizational openness to athletes pursuing adjacent combat sports ventures, provided they don't interfere with primary fighting obligations. Such crossover opportunities could expand UFC's brand presence into related markets, while giving fighters additional competitive platforms, potentially opening doors for specialized grappling events featuring roster talent.
You were in Seattle last year, came back this year, it looked like another really strong card. Is this going to be like an annual destination, you think? Like, it seems like
This place is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, we were lucky because we were in London last week, and the weather was better than summertime there, and then we come to Seattle, and the weather's good too.
Right?
Poly Market should have took some odds on that one. The weather's great. The fans here are incredible. It's a great city.
White's assessment of the main event emphasizes MMA's beautiful unpredictability and why fans remain perpetually captivated by the sport. He praises the card as potentially year best while acknowledging Joe Pyfer's stunning upset over Israel Adesanya, highlighting the number 14 contender's incredible rise to defeat a middleweight legend. Credit goes directly to Pyfer for showcasing unexpected speed and angles that caught everyone off guard, while Adesanya's performance faces inevitable scrutiny. This exemplifies White's immediate reactions to division-shaking outcomes, emphasizing constant power shifts in the UFC's most competitive weight classes, and proving that any given night can produce absolutely anything. White's enthusiasm for Seattle as a premier fight destination shines through his commitment to returning as frequently as possible to this passionate market. His weather comments, contrasting favorable Seattle conditions with presumably less cooperative London climate, add relatable humor to the discussion. More significantly, his praise for Pacific Northwest fans confirms the region's strong UFC market position and ensures continued inclusion in touring rotations. The organization's pattern of revisiting successful locations that deliver both financially and atmospherically guarantees these passionate fan bases can anticipate regular high-caliber events in their future entertainment calendar.